everyone, and welcome to About Town. I'm Susan Stevens.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman. Thanks so much for joining us for an all-new edition of Page Turners featuring some fun poetry books for kids and a preview of Mainstage Irving Las Colinas' new drama, Intimate Apparel.
We also have details on the new exhibit, Fighting for the Right to Fight, at the Irving Archives and Museum, and the upcoming Music on Main series at Heritage Park. And in Feature Flicks, I have a review of Creed 3.
YA, or young adult, and middle grade readers took over the Irving Convention Center last weekend for the biggest teen book event in the state.
That's right, the North Texas Teen Book Festival came back strong, and we have the highlights.
Where can teens and tweens meet their favorite authors?
Angie Thomas,
Gordon Corman,
Max Brailer,
R.L. Stein,
Learn about the hottest YA books.
The Luminaries by Susan Denard,
Last Kids on Earth, The Babysitter's Club,
Wings of Fire. It's a really good series.
And immerse themselves in their favorite hobby.
I love reading, oh my gosh. I really love to read.
I love to read, and you should do it too.
Top authors, hot books, and cool swag. They find it all at the North Texas Teen Book Festival.
We are back and we are better than ever.
A lot of kids could also find a new feature at the festival just for them.
We have new this year the Middle Ground track, and that's going to be designated in our programs and in the book sales area by a purple circle with MG on it, and that's for our middle grade students and those who might be going into middle grade.
The new track helps attendees find books specifically written for tweens and younger teens, such as Nathan Hale's Hazardous Tales series.
This is to all the panelists. If you could change something in your very first book, what would it be?
So they have a few scenes together, which never happened. I've never had a kid come up to me and say, there's nothing about that in the story. But I do wish I could change that. And also,
organizing great panels, fun activities, and author signings for the day-long event is no small job. But the small army of dedicated staff and volunteers make it all run like clockwork. Volunteer Katherine Johnson says it's so worth it.
And you're going to get to hear this as we have authors entering right now, and just seeing the kids' faces light up and just feeling like you're making that small bit of difference. It's great.
It's a difference that can be very meaningful in a young person's life.
I love writing, and I think to be a good writer, you need to be a good reader.
When you're reading, it's like you go into a new world and you can just like live it out.
I am autistic, and it helps calm me, especially when my nerves are really high and I feel overstimulated. I can just sit down and read, and it helps a lot.
All reasons the festival has been so successful, and why middle graders and teens keep coming back for more.
I'm here for the endless stories. Endless stories.
Endless stories. I'm here for the endless stories, and I know that's your cat's face.
Visit nttbf.com for a recap of this year's festival and a preview of next year's event.
Page Turners is back with a look at the poetry and illustrations of children's author Caliph Brown.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Irving Public Library's Page Turners. I'm your host, Mandy Aguilar, and this month we're talking to Stephanie Gimble, a children's librarian at the Valley Ranch Library. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Mandy.
I see you brought some poetry books today. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yes, I brought some books by an award-winning poet and illustrator, and his name is Caliph Brown.
Well, his illustrations look amazing and great use of color. Do you have any favorites?
I do. I love his self-portrait. He has painted himself as a cat, and actually he is a blue cat. There he is sitting at his desk writing his poetry, and he puts cats in a lot of his paintings. Here's another example on his Halloween book, Hallowilloween, a sneaky cat on the cover. I also like his books about pirates and his pictures about pirates. He has this book called Pirateria, which is about like a superstore just for pirates to shop.
Okay.
And similar to a super Walmart, but it's like a super pirate store. And I love his books about and his poems about Texas, because I am a Texan. And here is a favorite poem and picture about the Lone Star Witches.
Oh, wow.
The witches from Austin. You can see that they have on 10-gallon witches hats and, of course, boots.
Okay. Do you have any tips for parents out there who want to read poetry with their children?
I would say just have fun with it. You know, poems are pretty short, so you could read one every day. You could specify a certain time of the day, like if you drive your child to school, you could recite a poem on the way to school or before bedtime. You could even print out some poems and put them in their lunchbox or their backpack or their pocket. You can play games with poems. For example, if you have a rhyming poem, you can leave out a word and have them guess what word would go in there.
Excellent. Well, thank you for those tips and for sharing Caliph Brown with us, Stephanie. We will see you again next month on another Page Turners.
You can check out a copy of any of Caliph Brown's books at any Irving Public Library branch. Learn more at cityofirving.org/library. Live music returns to Heritage Park just in time for spring.
Hannah James brings us the details on Music on Main. Great to see you.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is such a fun thing to do as kind of thing weather starts warming up. I think it's like 80 degrees today as weather starts warming up and people want to get out. So who's your headliner that's opening the first concert?
So our new series that we're kicking off at Heritage Park, our Music on Main series for the first Friday in April, so April the 7th, we will have Squeezebox Bandits as our headliner. They are a Fort Worth native band. They've done Fort Worth Rodeo, they've done a bunch of stuff in Dallas, all kinds of stuff. They've been all over the place. But they are a Tejano country kind of crossover. They have one of their players, he plays an accordion.
Oh, great.
In kind of a very modern way. So they're a really fun group and we're super excited to have them to kick off the series.
That's great.
They do. They sound great. So what can audiences expect as part of the series?
So we did a kind of a poll on our Facebook page a few months back to kind of ask the Irving citizens what music they wanted to hear. And we took those results and put them into a 4-week concert series. So there's going to be all kinds of different music, kind of one genre and then bounce completely to the other side. So you can look forward to food trucks and Irving community people out there on the lawn dancing and bringing lawn chairs and blankets and kind of just having a free family fun evening.
Yeah, it does. It sounds wonderful. It truly does. So who are the other bands that fill out the rest of the series?
So after Squeezebox Bandits on the first week, on the second Friday at 7 p.m., all Fridays in April, so on the 14th at 7 p.m., we have Mike Donnell. He's a Texas country kind of very, very Texas music kind of guy. And then on the 21st, we have an 80s, 90s, 2000s cover band. Pooh Life Crew is their name. And they are super fun. They wear matching tracksuits and one of them plays a guitar. So that's really a fun time. And then the last week on the 28th to close out our series, we have the Vinyl Stripes. They are a rock and roll kind of 70s, 80s sort of group that I think one of them plays a cello, but then they also bring in different kind of more rock and roll elements. So that'll be really fun too. So all kinds of genres for everybody.
Yeah. It sounds like a great series. I know people are really going to look forward to it. So folks, the Music on Main series kicks off on April 7th with Squeezebox Bandits at 7 p.m. in Heritage Park. Concerts continue Fridays through April 28th. Visit irvingevents.org for more details. The first 2 Creed movies were heavy hitters, and now the trilogy is coming to an end with Creed 3. Susan, was this final film a knockout?
It's not exactly a knockout, but it is an intense match with some fantastic performances. And it's a solid directorial debut by Michael B. Jordan. In Creed 3, it's been 3 years since Adonis has retired from fighting. He's married to his longtime rock star girlfriend Bianca, and they have a daughter. He's now living a very comfortable life as a boxing promoter. But that seemingly perfect life is shaken when his childhood friend Damien returns after spending 18 years behind bars for a crime Adonis was involved in. Damien is jealous and angry as he believes Adonis is living the life he deserves. What happens next leads the two of them to an intense and thrilling final match. For those of you wondering if Sylvester Stallone makes an appearance here, no. He has officially stepped away. But his absence is barely noticeable as Jordan and his on-screen foe, Jonathan Majors, steal the spotlight anytime they're together. And that's right, Majors is once again playing a harrowing villain. But I have to say, I enjoyed watching him more as Damian Anderson than Kang. That might be because he has way more screen time. Either way, he shines as an antagonist you empathize with but still root against. And though Jordan is still a natural as Adonis Creed, there are times he feels slightly distracted, most likely due to his double role as director. Writing-wise, the story has its flaws and feels a little slow at times. However, Jordan's creative shots and thrilling fight and training sequences help compensate for any sluggish moments. Creed 3 punches up enough emotions and excitement to satisfy any Rocky fan. It's a crowd pleaser that will hit even harder while watching on the big screen.
You out there boxing. I need you to start fighting.
Creed 3 is currently playing. Check for showtimes at one of Irving's excellent local theaters.
The Irving Archives and Museum hosts another excellent touring exhibit, Fighting for the Right to Fight.
Jen Landry is here to tell us more. Great to see you, Jen.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Good to see you both.
Yeah.
So, Fighting for the Right to Fight is a very intriguing title. What's the subject matter?
It's about African Americans and experiences during World War II. And so the idea of double victory, where African Americans signed up, over 1 million African Americans served during World War II. And they went abroad to fight for democracy, but at home they were facing a lot of discrimination, and they also faced a lot of discrimination in the military as well. And so it's a story about those experiences and then how that is a lot of the genesis for the civil rights movement.
Oh, great footnote there, because you're just right there.
Yeah,
yeah. It was time.
Yeah. So how did this exhibit come to be?
So it's organized by the National World War II Museum, which is in New Orleans. They started recognizing the need to collect these stories and these histories and created this traveling exhibition. So we're really excited to be able to host it here.
One of the things that I absolutely love that you guys always do is bring together some interesting events in collaboration with you. So what do you have coming up?
So we have a really great program coming up on March 18th at 2 o'clock. It's a free event. Retired Air Force General Leon Johnston is going to be speaking. He also served as president of the Tuskegee Airmen Foundation, and he's going to be telling about African Americans in the military from the Revolutionary War to the present.
Wow, that sounds great.
First person narrative. I love that. That's great.
Well, you guys also have Second Saturdays. Can you tell us about those?
So Second Saturdays are continuing. The Friends of the Irving Museum sponsors that, and those are free Saturdays, and we have special programming on the second Saturday of the month. This month is airplanes, and every month is just a different theme and activity. So yeah, awesome. Come on out, it's fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bring the family out. Folks, you got the information here. Fighting for the Right to Fight, African American Experiences in World War II continues at the Irving Archives and Museum through April 14th. Visit irvingarchivesandmuseum.com for more information.
Mainstage Irving Las Colinas continues their 50th anniversary season with Intimate Apparel by Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Lynn Nottage. Here's a preview of this turn-of-the-century romantic drama.
Now, what do you want me to do with this dress? Did that bad?
Esther is a seamstress for a boarding house of women in New York City during 1905.
Yes!
Her life has now crossed the paths of 4 people from different backgrounds, and she's the connecting thread. All 4 of these people are in search of something better.
The show is set in everyone's boudoir or bedroom, so it's those great little stolen moments that aren't often reflected on stage, which is often big and exciting, and we get to see these great one-on-one conversations and character developments and story arches of tragedy and comedy.
Mainstage presents Lynn Nottage's Intimate Apparel. The play features different stories of empowering women.
I'm not the coward.
They're very strong. Each one is strong in different ways. And I like the way that Lynn Nottage writes women, especially. And I think it's important to know that each woman has a strength. I think it's about strength, and perseverance.
The play primarily follows Esther as she seeks romance while trying to pursue her dreams.
She is wanting love, but she's uncompromising in some ways. In some ways she is, but ultimately she chooses herself. And I think it's a very important message to walk away with.
See, and we'll begin here.
Intimate Apparel is a moving period piece showcasing genuine relationships that navigate real challenges.
It's a very touching story it should touch a lot of nerve.
And tells a compelling message all audiences can relate to.
Everyone has a story worth telling and a voice and a gift that is worth sharing.
Be true to yourself. Be uncompromising in your values. Be uncompromising in love. And pursue your purpose in life.
Intimate Apparel continues through March 25th in the Dupree Theater. Call 972-252-ARTS for showtimes and tickets.
If you're looking for some cool things to do, Levi Gomez, our man about town, has some great suggestions.
Hi everybody, Levi here. Come to Texas Lottery Plaza for Double Your Luck, a St. Patrick's Day celebration. There'll be live music, food, and green beer. It's time for the 4th annual St. Patrick's 5K Walk or Run. Make sure to wear green and stick around for the post-race party. It's happening March 18th at 8 a.m. at the Toyota Music Factory. The Irving Symphonic Band will be performing Spring Fling, Tell Me a Story. The show's March 19th here at the Carpenter Hall at 2 p.m. All the players are volunteers just sharing their love for music. Come by March 25th at 7:30 p.m. for Night of the Mayas with the Texas Guitar Quartet. The title comes from a 1939 Mexican film. Grammy-winning norteño group Pesado from Monterrey will be performing at the Toyota Music Factory, alongside 2 more groups from Nuevo León. The show's March 25th, doors open at 7 p.m. Come check out A Midsummer Night's Dream here at the Carpenter Hall March 31st at 7 p.m. It's based off one of Shakespeare's most popular comedies.
For more events about town, check out our local arts calendar at cityofirving.org/536.
And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time to see the arts, crafts, and food from the 2nd annual BBAG Fest. And we'll catch up with the Kingdom Choir on their return trip to Irving.
We'll also meet some Irving teens who stepped into the spotlight at this year's Irving's Got Talent.
As always, we'd love to hear your feedback. Tell us about events going on around the community, people we should profile, or stories you'd like to see on the show.
You can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect us on social media. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We'd love to hear from you.
We'll leave you tonight with a look at the Kingdom Choir in performance in the Irving Arts Center. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Susan Stevens. Have a great evening.
To show my love.